house now, I need to see your vaccination card. I need to see that you were vaccinated twice, and uh, you need to pass the sniff test, all that shit. And we are live with another episode of BS Busters. Thank you for joining us. Um, Before we go any further, let's have everyone introduce themselves, starting with the lady first. Let's go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, to the BS Busters Midweek podcast for the last week of April. I'm Gerard Eli Moonstar, and oh boy, what a week. And I came into this week hoping that I wouldn't get a headache, and then GDC dropped the headache.
Um, I mean, I didn't watch GDC because, like, at this point, I just don't really care all that much. I don't care all that much.
The topic was about loot boxes.
Oh yeah, yeah, gambling mechanics in games. Now I know I'm
Mm-hmm.
about to say something. No, sorry, Kadoshi, introduce yourself, and then we can get into loot boxes.
Yeah, it's Konoshi Abominito. Glad to be here on another BS Busters.
All right, this is Mr. Red
And of
Fox.
course, I was saying, and of course, Mr. Red Fox himself.
That's right. Time to get into BS Busters. Our first topic is going to be loot boxes because I'm about to say something kind of that would be kind of an unpopular opinion, but and I know some people are going to get on me about it. I am not against loot boxes within and of themselves. I think that for some people it might be a viable thing. I know it makes money, but I'm not talking about the money aspect of it. If you're someone who wants to get into Madden or FIFA or whatever game that has loot boxes, and you don't have, you have a full-time job, or you just don't have the time to grind 30, 40 hours to unlock something, pay-to-play mechanics might be useful for you. My issue with loot boxes is that a lot of the people playing these games aren't adults. Because if you're an adult, even though something might not be good for you, you're an adult. You made the choice to do whatever unhealthy thing that is,
And
like
you kind of
drinking or
have a
smoking or whatever.
and you kind of have the willpower to actually resist some of this stuff. And I
Well,
have to look at you a little bit on that, Red, because of the fact that most of this is aimed at kids.
yeah, that's my issue. Is that most of this is aimed at kids? Okay, that's my problem. Like, okay, if you're an adult and you want to smoke cigarettes, cigarettes are a terrible uh, habit. Um, much like anything else that's bad for your health, that also causes, pleasurable sensations. It's a terrible thing. But if you're an adult, you're kind of like, as an adult, you're kind of inadvertently given a level of responsibility about yourself and the choices that you make that children aren't expected or given. So as an adult, you can choose. Like, if as an adult, if you want to take your, like, let's say you have a monthly budget, you pay your rent at the beginning of the month, and then you do everything you got to do, right? Right? You pay your rent, and then the rest of your money that you should be spending to, for food, all that type of shit, you want to take that and spend it on some bullshit. That's your choice. You're an adult. You can do that. Um, Now, there's going to be consequences to pay, but as an adult, you kind of it's accepted that you're going to accept those consequences. Now, children don't have to deal with that because they're children, you know. So having children get these mechanics where they're kind of geared towards getting small, children into gambling mechanics and stuff like that. That's where I have an issue with loot boxes. But if you're an adult, like, pay microtransactions, pay to play mechanics, if you if you work a 9 to 5 job, or for a lot of people they work more than that, because I'm including the commute. You work a 8 to 6 job, including your commute. And by the time you get home, let's say you're married or you have a significant other, you spend about 3 or 4 hours with them. So you only really have per day maybe 30 to minutes to an hour to play video games before we have to go to sleep and do it all over again. Like, if you only have an hour, and that's generous because most people don't even have that much to play games. An hour, during the week to play games, and you want to spend $10, $15, $20 to unlock something that normally you'd have to spend 20, 30 hours to unlock playing it straight. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you're an adult. You can do that. My issue is that these same mechanics are being used to go after children, and when they're still forming. So the habits that you form as a kid tend to follow you into adult life. So that's my issue with a lot of it. If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't get mad about it. It wouldn't bother me. But when it's getting adult, it's getting kids, that's my problem. And that's where I'm kind of like, okay, got to draw the line. But that's my own personal opinion. Your guys' thoughts on it?
For me, I have to wonder how this isn't regulated enough to at least be sure that we're not having to bring this topic up more than we should be.
Oh, it's not being regulated because these companies spend money to make sure that it's lobbied. Like any regulation that's passed is watered down so much that it's like what should be something that's really affecting it in a way that's protecting children and people who might have addictive personality traits. It's so watered down that nothing's happening. Much like everything else that happens, because people put profit over responsibility. Companies want to make money. They want to make how much money? All the money.
Yeah, they want all the money.
When will it be enough? It's never going to be enough because we want all the money. Not some of the money, all of it.
One of the Rockefellers said this. He was asked, how much money is enough, and he said $1 more. So, it's always just $1 more. So
it's like, when will it be enough? We don't know, but
it ain't ever enough.
It's never enough. So for me personally, I'm not really, look, I understand how people feel about it, but that's the world we live in. It's like, I had to write this paper about fossil fuels and how fossil fuels are not like good for the environment. And I'm like, the amount of money, like here in America, if these fossil fuel companies didn't get all of these tax write-offs and payouts and weren't in bed with, like, I would rather have the money that these states and the federal government and local government districts give to these companies. I'd rather have that money put into R&D for we can jump over natural gas and oil and go to something that's cleaner than that. Because, at some point, it's more expensive to clean up an oil spill or a natural gas fissure than it is to develop technology that goes over that. And I think that would be way more helpful because, people are like, well, the money. It's like, look, what use is money when you can't live someplace? Or it's going to take 20 years for the land to be cleaned up. Like, money is nice. Yeah, look, listen. As someone who used to make a decent, I don't know why I say that. Because even with the hit, I'm okay. But it's like I would rather be okay and live someplace that's nice than be balling, but like where I live is just fucked.
I was about to say, you ever have a decent house than ransacked mansion that looks like it's about to fall apart?
Because even if you're wealthy, if you can't go outside because the air is fucked, and you don't have decent drinking water, or if you do have to get water, because there are places where everyone has to drink bottled water because the water table's fucked. Like, why would you want to live like that? So, at a certain point, It's like I want to, but it's priorities. Like, I mean, do you need to have all the money? And a lot of people think that they need to have all the money, and I'm not one of those people. I don't need all the money. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, until these companies are regulated, it's not going to be an issue. Because and if I hear anyone say, because these companies are always like, well, we can regulate ourselves. No, you can't. No, you can't. Any industry that regulates itself.
I was gonna say, every time I hear that line, I almost burst out laughing my rear end off.
Yeah, any industry that regulates itself is always full of shit.
I was gonna be polite about it and say that whenever they say that they can regulate themselves, that's like leaving a kid with a full can of sugar in the house to themselves.
Yeah.
Something's gonna break when that happens.
To be fair, some people can regulate themselves, but companies, for-profit companies, cannot regulate themselves. They can't because, like a for-profit company's margin of, like how they accept if something is good or not is whether or not it makes money. And a lot of the times, skirting regulation or breaking it makes more money than following the rules. So, I don't trust it. But anyway, any other loot box topics you guys want to cover before we move on to the next topic? GDC loot boxes.
Nah.
All right.
Good.
Okay, this is some news that happened in Osaka, which is basically Osaka is like Orlando and Hawaii fused together.
Oh, the Nintendo closing.
Yeah, Super Nintendo World in Osaka closed due to COVID. I'm like, look, first of all, during COVID-19, y'all shouldn't have opened that shit up in the first goddamn place. Because I don't, like, here's the thing. If you're, like, all of us, I'm pretty sure, have been to any of the major amusement parks here in America. Like, upper echelon is, like, Disney World and Universal Studios. Then below that's, like, Six Flags. Then below that is, like, ultra local amusement parks. But everyone knows that anyone who's been to an amusement park, no one ever follows the rules when it comes to distancing or washing their hands. No one gives a shit about stuff like that. And that's before COVID.
Especially those kids.
Yeah, that was before COVID. So do you honestly think people going to that shit are following it now? Yeah, maybe some of the adults, but those little snot-nosed little kids, hell no. So I'm like, why did you open that shit in the first place?
I think it was because that their numbers were down, but sadly,
let me put it this way: if Disney is losing money during COVID-19, ain't nobody getting any money. All right, just lock it down. Just look, you're just gonna lose money, okay? Because I mean, people don't want to go out.
I was gonna make the joke that you're better off putting money in a casino.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Go buy some scratch off tickets, or do a staycation.
Yeah, because those are probably going to be just as entertaining as what's going on with Disney right now.
Or any type of amusement, any place where you're going to have a lot of people. Like, I plan on going to the movies the week after next. Because the week after next, I will have passed my 2-week, like the 5th, the 12th. I will have passed my 2-week holdout period to build up my immunity to COVID-19 after taking my 2 shots. So basically, I'm going to go to the movies. But even at the movie theater, it's like they have you separate from other people, and it's like all like separated out, and you're over here and someone's over there. And I'm going to like a higher end movie theater, not like not AMC, because AMC is trash.
I was gonna say, how did AMC fare?
Well, the only reason I'm not going to AMC is because AMC, like every AMC theater I have been to, like has always been trash. Like the theater is always trash. It's just not a good. It's just not a good situation. So,
At least I can understand that.
like every AMC theater I've ever been to has been like just not good. Like, I mean, have you ever like they're like, oh, we cleaned the movie theater, and you go in there and like the floor's sticky, everything's barely clean. Like, I don't like AMC 13s.
Yeah, I haven't been to an AMC, but I heard some very spiced stories.
Now, what do they have where you are? Regal Cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. So I don't like any of it. No, sir. Not one bit. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. No, sir.
Good Ren and Stimpy joke there, buddy.
No, sir. I don't like it. Not at all. Not even a little bit. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm
How long
not.
is how long is it shut down for?
What, AMC 18?
No, the Super Mario World part.
I mean, I don't know. I just noticed that it's being. It's a temporary closure. They don't say how long. They say that it's going to be shut until May 11th. Here's the thing, okay? COVID-19 passes where you have really dense human activity. Japan, like where there's huge population centers, people like you have no choice but to have people be packed in on each other. So, like they're like, yeah, we're gonna have our Olympics. I'm like, no, you ain't. Shit.
Say, you having the Olympics?
No, you're not having the Olympics. All those damn people all up on each other. Shit.
The Olympics are once in a 4-year event that usually would be a great celebration of people coming together to try to compete and see who has the best. And in a mess that's going on right now, I'd be happy to at least see the Winter Olympics and to at least try to revive.
I don't trust it.
Trying to do the 2021, I mean the 2020 Olympics now.
I don't trust it. But then again, I'm a scary individual because I read a lot of science fiction, and I'm just like, all those people together, I don't trust it.
For me, it depends on the event.
No, sir, I don't trust it. Next, anything else you guys want to say about Super Nintendo World closing before we move on to the next topic?
I'm kind of sad, but if anything, it's understandable.
When are the Olympics? Didn't they cancel that last year?
Yeah, but I think they're trying to do it to restart them now. They pushed 2020s to this to now, so I don't know. I don't really watch the Olympics unless it's going to be cool. Like, I watch the Olympics when you have the U.S. basketball team play, or that year they had football and America just dominated everybody. Like, they had football in the Olympics and the U.S. was just destroying everybody. It was great.
And of course, we know that red means American football, not the soccer.
Yeah, because I'm an American. In America, like, even though I know it's called football everywhere else, in America, because we're assholes, Football is football, and football is soccer. And I know people in other countries, but football, man, get the fuck out of here. I don't care about your little game. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care about soccer. Don't care. Don't give a shit about the game. Don't care. American football is just as bad because of how violent it is and how those players just put their bodies on the line constantly and are all fucked up and shit. I mean, I don't like that either, but, at least, like, let me put it this way. To me, if you're playing a sport, but once you retire out of it, your body should be wrecked. Like, if your body isn't wrecked, it's not a sport. Like, you see these soccer stars, they're out doing shit. I'm like, nah, man, no. You should like, if you retire at the age of 40, your body should be 60. Like, like even the NBA players, yeah, they look great, but those knees, they might be 45, but those knees are 85. Because that's the game, baby.
No, that's why if you're still playing a professional sport like football or basketball, once you're around in your 30s, you're considered an old man.
Yeah, that's the game. I know a lot of people in European countries, football. Also, I don't like how a lot of the people who play who play soccer or football in foreign countries, they get way too into it. Like, I'm like, to the point where I'm like, stop being such bitches. Like, our national team, man, shut the fuck up.
Hey,
okay,
they got pride for their group.
It's just a game, okay? It's people kicking around a little ball, all right? And before anyone says, you just don't get it, I played soccer for 6 years. Was actually pretty good. I played a lot of sports when I was younger. I've played soccer, basketball, baseball. I did not play football because if you tackle me, I'm going to try and kick your ass. I practiced Muay Thai for about, age 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. About 8 years. I'm trying to get back into shape because I can't go to my gym because they're fucking closed. Thanks a lot, COVID.
I was gonna say that you probably haven't heard that Planet Fitness is trying to open up.
I don't go to Planet Fitness.
Well, at least I was curious about that.
No, I do not go to Planet Fitness. The gym I go to is a local chain. Their amenities, like, they don't have the reach of Planet Fitness. They're local. They're only in the DC metropolitan area. I like them because, for one thing, like, how sometimes you go, well, I don't know what gyms you guys go to, because every time I've been to a Planet Fitness, some big motherfucker comes up to me, can I help you, bro? I'm like, no. And because I'm kind of a big dude, they always think I want to lift weights. And I'm like, no, I don't want to lift weights. I hate weightlifting. Basically, my workout is I do cardio, and then I do low impact stuff like swimming. And, then I do like basic calisthenics type stuff. And then I'm done. Like, I'm not trying to build muscle or anything, because, I mean, under the fat, I have a lot of muscle. Right? Like, I have like sumo style muscle, though. So it's like under the fat, there's a lot of muscle, not I'm just a fat guy. So, yeah. But also, like, every Planet Fitness I've been to, there's always like one dude there, or at least a group of dudes who are into weightlifting who are way too into it. You know what I'm talking about? The dudes who make noises while they're pumping iron like they're having sex. Yeah. Like aggressive sex. No, worse than that. Like, ugh, ugh. I'm like, dude, why? Why? No one, come on, man. Come on. No one needs to make noises like that while they're exercising, okay? Heavy breathing, maybe. You know, the controlled breathing techniques, you know, something like that. But I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear a dude sounding like, you know, or some big huge motherfucker is helping to spot another big huge Tyrannosaurus Rex looking motherfucker, and it just like, come on, just stop, just stop. You could do it, bro. Come on. Or they start having like little subtle flexing of how much the other person benches. Yo, bro, how much you bench, bro? I don't give a shit. Stop. Stop. You roided out motherfucker.
I was gonna make the joke that you witness a lot of muscle stimulation.
Yeah, so like, and that has only happened to me when I go to places that are bigger chains, like Gold's Gym, Planet Fitness, places like that. When I go to places that, like, when I go to the local regional chain that's like near me, that's kind of smaller, Blake's Gym, I don't have to deal with those assholes. And like when I work out, like I don't want people talking to me. I just want to put my earbuds in, listen to my shit, and be left alone. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm swimming, I just want to be left the fuck alone. You know, like I just want to do my workout, go to the shower, wash off, put on my shit, and go. Like I don't want people talking to me, asking me. Like, and I get tired of people always saying, "Hey man, you want a membership? I have a membership. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone and let me do my shit." So that's how I like it, because I'm crazy like that. Anyway, let's keep it moving. We have another topic here. Anyone else have anything else they want to add about Super Nintendo World forced to close temporarily?
I'm good.
All right. Here's something that's not really. It's going to segue into something else, I promise. So apparently Polygon has a podcast, and one of their questions were, is Zack Snyder's Superman the best on-screen Superman? I'm going to tell you the same thing I put in the comment section of that. No.
I figured you'd say.
Thoughts?
Against that.
I'm actually curious on why you put the no.
Because well, Henry Cavill, if you see him with the outfit on, like just from the head up, and body wise, he looks like you would envision a version of Superman. How he acts as Superman is just fucking terrible. Like he is one of the shittiest representations of Superman I've ever seen. Now that's not his fault. That's his direction in the script.
Isn't the same Superman that we had that whiny Superman moment?
Yeah, that's whiny Superman. That's Superman who.
God.
This is the Superman who would fight in the middle of the city, get thousands of people murdered, and then makes out with his girlfriend on the rubble. This is the Superman who just like it's emo Superman.
I was trying to say, at least if he got a better scriptwriter, it would at least make something salvageable.
Yeah. Like here's the thing. A lot of people will tell you it's really hard to write for Superman. Like scriptwriters will say it's really hard to write for Superman. But then I go to DC Comics and I read some really good runs on Superman, and I'm like, no, you can write for Superman if you're good at writing the character. Like Taylor Hoechlin, the guy who's playing Superman and Lois, he has a really good version of Superman. like a really good version of Superman is being portrayed on the screen. For example, like you watch the first episode and you see Superman doing Superman shit, saving people, stopping disasters and shit. But you also have the human part of Superman that's like, shit, okay, my wife's gonna get on my ass because I'm gonna be running late. These badass kids are talking shit, like you realize that despite all of Superman's powers, he's still got to deal with the same bullshit everyone else has to deal with, and it's great.
I was gonna say he's as mortal as us, and yet he has superpowers.
Like, Superman has all this abilities, but he's still got to deal with bullshit. And it's fucking awesome. And it's like, this is how you write Superman. That bullshit we got under Zack Snyder for 3 movies was just, like, literally, and I rewatched Justice League recently, and everyone's like, oh, this is for the fans. Like, that's what Zack Snyder said. This is for the fans. No, it wasn't. You want to know what the Snyder cut of Justice League was? It was Zack Snyder pulling down his pants, pulling down his underwear.
Taking a 2.
No, worse than number 2, and basically given. I don't know what hand he uses, but he was basically jacking off on the face of his fanboys who love everything he does, and saying, "You're gonna love it." Because that's what it was. It was 4 hours of Zack Snyder's self-indulgent bullshit.
I was going to say, it's number 2 if you're not a fan of his work.
No, because to me, that would be offensive even if I liked someone. If I was gay and I was into that type of thing and a dude did that, I would be kind of offended. So you know, that's just kind of, I mean, but hey, look, man, you know, look, listen, you know, I'm not going to kink shame anyone. There are some people who find that, you know, there's some people who find that type of thing enjoyable. But me personally, I just was like,
I just gotta mute myself for a minute.
Yeah, you know, look, listen. I'm not going to kink shame anyone, but it was overindulgent. It was literally 4 hours of Zack Snyder saying, "You're going to love this because I did it." And I'm like, I don't love it. And it's kind of disgusting. So anyway, speaking of Warner Brothers, but you can go watch the Snyder cut of all those movies if you go watch it on HBO Max. But you know what else is on HBO Max? Mortal Kombat 2021.
How was that?
It's not good.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
I was gonna say, please tell me it's not. Please tell me it has cheese in it that works. It doesn't.
Here's what I'll tell you about Mortal Kombat 2021. It is how can I put this nicely?
I was at least hoping that had some cheese in it to at least make it tolerable.
It's not really cheesy. It takes itself too seriously.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's very self-serious. Like, okay, let me put it this way. It is a better directed film than the '95 Mortal Kombat movie, but it's not fun. It's not a fun movie to watch. Like I don't know how you can make a Mortal Kombat movie boring to watch, but this movie, like, okay, the first 11 minutes where you're seeing Scorpion fight Sub-Zero, like, and Scorpion's family gets murdered by Sub-Zero, you're like, oh yeah, okay. Like, that the fight scenes are awesome there. And it's like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then after that, the movie just kind of comes to a crawl. Like, the 2 Scorpion versus Sub-Zero fights in the film are really good. And then everything else between the 2 Scorpion fights and versus Sub-Zero fights are just like, this is boring ass bullshit. And how could you make, I don't know how you could make a Mortal Kombat movie that's boring. Also, these are spoilers, the movie is a prequel. It's not actually the tournament. It's a prequel to the tournament.
No.
Now, to be fair, it could have worked as a prequel if they had not included a whole bunch of other characters that shouldn't have been there if it was a prequel.
That's and you wonder why he said, "Oh no," because
Yeah.
prequels have a tendency to be either good storytelling to what was before it,
Well,
or
I'll give you an example of a good prequel that works. Star Wars, Rogue Squad. What was it? Not Rogue Squadron. Rebel One. Rogue One. Sorry, Rogue One. Rogue One was that was a good prequel. Cause you knew going into the movie, okay, none of these motherfuckers gonna make it out of here alive. Okay, they're all going to die. Okay, and so I will not allow myself to get attached to any of these people because the whole point of this movie is to show how desperate the rebellion was for a win and to get us to the start of Star Wars: A New Hope. And also to show how badass Darth Vader was and why people were so afraid of him. Why, why normal people, when people, I keep on seeing these things on these websites where, these deep dive Star Wars websites where people are like, yeah, you shouldn't have Jedi and the Jedi Order is terrible. Let me tell you why you need people like Jedi. Watch the last 5 minutes of Star Wars Rogue One and realize that the only motherfuckers who can fight some shit like that are motherfuckers who were trained like Jedi. Okay? Because you see some shit like that, it's like, nah, normal people can't fight some shit like that. It's like, no, I can't. I can't fight that. Like, what are you gonna do with a blaster?
Who else but Jedi can fight stuff that could literally force choke you with just a thought?
Yeah, and the dude didn't even use the Force when he was fighting those dudes, except for one small part where he lifted a dude up into the ceiling in that corridor scene. Like, it's like, oh shit, like literally. To quote Jackie Chan Adventures, like Uncle used to say, "Magic must fight magic." Yeah, if you're dealing with Force users, the only thing that can fight a bad Force user is another Force user. Cause normal people have no defense. Think of it like this, okay? Remember Pokemon back in the day in Gen 1, where psychic types and dragon types were just OP as fuck?
Dragon types only had 3 Pokemon in it.
Yeah, but there were 3 Pokemon of dragon type. Well, technically 1. It's just it evolved 2 times. Okay? And aside from ice, they had practically no weakness. None. And here's the thing. You only had like 2 ice-type Pokemon in the damn game. 2! And both of them were hybrid types. So, if you had, you had Seal and Cloyster. That was it. It's only ice types you had. And
if you're fighting against a psychic, you might as well bend over.
No, Psychic's weakness in Gen 1 was that most of them had shitty defense, except for Tapir and Hypnos. And the only reason, in which the weakness that those 2 had is that their speed sucked. So if you had like a really good normal type that had high attack, you could fuck up a psychic type because their defense sucked. They had high speed. Like Psychic was designed to be really fast, hit really hard, and then knock a motherfucker out before they could get attacked. Because I can't tell you how many people I destroyed in Gen 1 PvP matches.
I was gonna say if you were able to get rid of a psychic type fast enough,
well,
then you on easy streets.
I would destroy their team with a normal type that just had high speed, like Eradicate, or even a Snorlax. So Snorlax has so much HP. Its HP is almost like a defensive ability, and just one body slam to a psychic type in Gen 1 to most psychic types, even the most powerful, like an Alakazam. Yeah, you're badass and all, but can you take this body slam? Psh, I don't think so. That defense sucked, dude. It's like, but that's basically how Star Wars was. So that was a prequel that worked, but yeah, Zack Snyder's Superman sucked. It wasn't well written. His Man of Steel, like Henry Cavill, Henry Cavill may be a good actor. I don't really. There's nothing I've seen him in that makes me think that he's a good actor. But his version of Superman was hot buttered ass, as far as I'm concerned. And I know some people are going to get mad when they hear that. How could you say that?
I was going to say that it could have been worse.
I don't know how it could have been worse. Because it was pretty bad. It's very hard for it to be worse than it was. Emo, whiny ass Superman. Emo, whiny ass Superman. Emo, whiny ass Superman. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, literally, Henry Cavill. And Henry Cavill deserved better. The character deserved better. But, it just, like, Zack Snyder does not understand the characters by which he's trying to put on the silver screen. And I'll keep it real. I don't even think his Dawn of the Dead remake is that good. I mean, graphically, they're well made, but, like, in terms of just being, like, masterpieces, like, Zack Snyder is not a good enough director to where I think this person deserves to have a 3 or more hour cut of their movie. Like, you have to be a really good director for someone to say you can get away with a 3+ hour cut of your movie. And Zack Snyder is not that good. Like, in order for you to get to that point, you have to be like Francis Ford Coppola or Martin Scorsese or Steven Spielberg. Like, George Lucas isn't even that good. If George Lucas said, "Hey, I have a 3+ hour cut of Star Wars: A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi," I'd be like, "No, thank you," because I like those movies, but not enough to sit for 3 or more hours for one of them. No, no. Although, I would like to see fans make a collected chronological cut of Rogue One, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. That'd be cool, but you'd have to have like an intermission halfway through so people could get up and take a break. But, that's different than, just people just throwing some shit together. But yeah, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Anything else anyone wants to add? Any other movies someone thinks are overrated, or just people generally adore, and you're like, no?
Titanic.
I agree. I don't even think that's James. That's not even my favorite James Cameron movie.
Freaking Avatar. We're going with James Cameron movies.
That isn't even my favorite James Cameron. My favorite James Cameron movie, I know some people are going to say Terminator 2, Aliens. Nah. My favorite James Cameron movie is The Abyss. With Ed Harris and Richard Bean.
What's that movie supposed to be about?
The Abyss? The Abyss is about this group of oil rig workers, like deep sea oil rig workers, who essentially discover something in this abyss-like crevice. Turns out to be an alien ship, and these aliens are trying to make contact with humanity and to decide what they're going to do with humanity. And Ed Harris plays like the leader of the rig, who essentially the government gets in. These Navy SEALs are like, okay, we're gonna blow up this ship, and like Ed Harris is like, these aliens came here. If they came to planet Earth, they are so far advanced with us. If we blow up their ship, they might destroy all of us. So he basically winds up tricking the Navy SEAls into leaving and disarming the bomb they were gonna put in order to blow up this crevice. He winds up meeting the aliens. It has really great special effects. At the end of the movie, Ed Harris's character winds up meeting the aliens and talking them out of destroying humanity by showing the greater side of humanity to the aliens so they don't destroy us all. It's actually a really good film. It's a little bit, like, it's got the action. It's also a little bit cerebral. I'm explaining it poorly because you have to watch The Abyss in order to really get it. It had great special effects for the time, and really, I personally think the effects still really do hold up. It's got a good mixture of CGI and practical special effects, which I think is just fucking awesome. Because anytime you do practical mixed with CGI, I'm good with it. If it's just all just CGI, it looks fake as fuck, which is why Avatar is just, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, too much CGI is like a girl wearing it's like a, I shouldn't say girl, it's like a woman wearing too much makeup. Like, too much makeup and they start to look like clown face. It's like, ooh. You're trying too hard. Yeah. You're trying too hard. Why are you trying too hard? But yeah, The Abyss is a pretty good movie. It's personally my favorite James Cameron film. T2 is up there. I would put it as my third or fourth, but The Abyss is my personal favorite. Okay, let's keep it moving. So we have another topic. It's called "It's time to make gameplay optional in video games." Sony is adding AI assistants to their games to make them easier to play.
That was the thing that makes me wonder. People are really getting that lazy with playing games.
Yes. I mean, I know this is going to sound kind of bad, but I actually don't feel bad about it.
I raise an eyebrow to that because seriously, if you're just gonna be watching a game instead of playing a game, there's something called game movies that's on YouTube.
Here's the reason why I'm saying it's really not. I'm not that against it. Okay. It depends on how it's handled. Like, Nintendo had that with New Super Mario Brothers, Wii U, where basically, like, if you died so many times, you could get like the white Tanuki suit that basically made you invincible and you could fly indefinitely and all that shit. And so basically, like, that made it basically easy mode for people who were dying a lot. You didn't have to use it. If they give you a choice, because like I said, there are people who want to play games, want to play single player games, and don't want to get frustrated by dying a whole bunch of times. Like, anything that makes gaming more accessible for people, I'm happy with. Now, as a subtle flex, I mean, I personally wouldn't use that because, like, there were times in New Super Mario Brothers U where I would be trying to clear an area and get all the special coins so I could 100% an area. And I would be like dying multiple times because there were certain points on some levels where you couldn't go back to a checkpoint if you missed a coin. You just had to restart the whole level. So I just restart the whole level and just lose that life. So, after a certain amount of lives, it's like, oh, well, you can use our white Tanuki suit. It's like, no, I'll do it the hard way. Because, I mean, I have, there's a certain floor that I won't go below. But, if people want to play a game and just get through it, I can't, I'm not going to sit there and be like, you aren't a real gamer because you didn't beat this game on the hardest mode. Because that's kind of, I mean, that's kind of a dick thing to do. And I try not to do stuff like that. But,
for me, I consider it kind of a easy out if you bought the game and that you made it to where you're needing that certain item just to go through it without putting any effort in there.
I mean, like I said, if people are just trying to play their games and they just want to do whatever, they just want to play their games and call it a day, kind of like they kind of just like I recently I got Jedi Fallen Order because it was on sale. I haven't played it yet, but I heard it was pretty good. I got Jedi Fallen Order.
That's all right.
So, you know, I'm probably gonna wait until there are more mods out for it, and then mod it so that it's more interesting than what EA did with it. So, I mean, but the thing about EA is just really disappointing. You know, it's like they got the Star Wars license, and we got like what, like 5 games out of it, and 3 of them were mediocre bullshit. 4 of them were mediocre bullshit. Sorry. So, I mean, where do we go with it? You know, what else is there left to do? But that's my own personal opinion. Let's keep it moving to our last section, our next one. We talked about EA, talked about the Super Nintendo closures. Okay, here's our final topic before we get to unpopular opinions. How do you feel about the Switch 4 years in?
I'm still in it.
Kenoshi?
I think it's all right. I don't play it nearly as much as I thought I would. I think they're coming out with games that a lot of people like. So.
All right. I mean, I'm kind of underwhelmed. The games I'm really looking forward to haven't come out yet. Like, I'm really looking forward to Rune Factory 5. I'm really looking forward to No More Heroes 3. You know, I think Nintendo is playing kind of a cautious approach to the Switch, and I'm like, why? Because like right now, the Switch is selling gangbusters, and people are snapping up games for the system like no one's business. So now's the time to actually start to put some of the more experimental games out there. But it's like they're afraid to put out some interesting shit. Like everything's kind of playing it safe almost. So, I think the Switch will have another 2.5, 3 years on the market, and then they'll probably do their next, game. They'll probably announce their next hardware in the next 2 years, and then release it, and they'll kind of let the Switch off slowly. I'm guessing the next hardware will also be backwards compatible with the Switch, since the Switch sold so much, and they don't want to throw those people away.
Maybe. Though, if anything, I'm gonna be laughing if people were hoping for a Switch Pro and it's a new system instead. I'll be having my laugh then.
I mean, people have been talking about the Switch Pro for a while. You know, people love the Switch Pro, the Switch Pro. I'm like, what incentive do they have to come out with a Switch Pro? Because people are.
Here's the thing. I consider the Switch Pro what Kingdom Hearts fans are with Nintendo.
Well, I mean, they have no incentive to come out with a Switch Pro. Like, there's actually tons of incentives for Square Enix to come out with Kingdom Hearts for the Nintendo system. They're just not going to do it because I guess Sony has Square Enix's balls in a small box on Sony CEO's desk or something. I don't know, but because Nintendo fans at this point are like, we would kill our mothers for a chance to have Kingdom Hearts on our system. Now, me, I'm not one of those people.
Mind you.
Yeah, a mainline game on the system. Now, me, I don't really like Kingdom Hearts like that.
Yeah, and this is the reason why I made the comparison, because both of them I see are never gonna happen.
Yeah, never gonna happen. It's like that song from back in the 90s, you know, never gonna get it, 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 never ever, never gonna get it. Okay? I don't know why Nintendo fans keep on begging for Kingdom Hearts games. I want Kingdom Hearts on the Switch. What part
I
of
at least
no
say
do
that
you not understand? The N or the
I
O?
will say this: if you go, if you're if you're gonna keep on teasing us with these side games, then get on, then give us something, or leave.
Yeah, but they aren't teasing us with the set. I mean, it's not really a tease. It's just taking advantage of Nintendo gamers. It's like a chick who. Anyone here ever seen The Last American Virgin?
No.
Well, The Last American Virgin is about this nice guy. I'm using air quotes here. This nice guy who tries to go with this hot girl who basically she's using him. She's using him so that she can get what she wants, right? And he's like, in his head, he's like, yeah, if I do this, she's gonna go with me. If I do this, she's gonna go with me. At the end of the movie, like it's the big dance. It's like prom, and she's like, well, I just need a little bit of money in order to do this X, Y, or Z, and he does it. And then he goes to the prom and he sees her making out with her real boyfriend. And he drives away crying. And it ends with James Ingram singing this song where it's like, you did your best, but your best just wasn't good enough. And it's like, dude, you were never going to get with that girl. That's how Nintendo fans are with Kingdom Hearts. You're never going to get the mainline Kingdom Hearts games on your system. Or at least not for a very long time. Okay, so stop begging. Like, if you guys stopped begging for the shit, I guarantee they'd probably do it because they're like, oh, we strung them along long enough. You know, at a certain point, it's just really pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, for people like me, I say that you guys are teasing. So either give us something, or I'm not gonna buy anymore.
Yeah.
If any.
Just give it up. It's not happening. Go. I mean, there's so many other games to play.
Yeah,
I mean, and Kingdom Hearts isn't even that good. I mean, I don't know why people don't understand that. Kingdom Hearts isn't even that good of a game.
Yeah, that's the thing. I already know that it's not a big series, but still, if you're gonna tease us about putting it on the system, or tease us with a side game.
Yeah, but that's not a tease. That is not a tease. A tease is if you're a man and you're with your girlfriend, she says, "Hey, I'm gonna rock your world when we go home tonight after the play." That's a tease. They ain't even doing that. Like Square Enix is like, "Hey, you want to go over here and get some ice cream?" Sure. That doesn't mean she's gonna sleep with you. Ice cream and sleeping with you, not the same thing. That is not a tease. Square Enix hasn't teased anything. They're putting their sloppy second side games on Nintendo systems, and these dumbasses buy the shit thinking that Square Enix is going to put the main shit on the system. That's on you. That's your dumbasses doing that shit. There are no teasing. There's no hints of other games coming out to the system. Okay? Stop. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing. And frankly speaking, I don't want to be associated with people who do embarrassing shit like that. As a Nintendo fan, it's like, you know. Like I said, it's like that dude when you were in high school who was trying to go after a girl and she was playing him, and it was just never gonna happen. But he just did everything to try and make it happen, but it wasn't happening anyway. And after a certain point, it's like, I didn't even get mad at the girl. I'm like, dude, you're embarrassing yourself. Stop. Stop it. You are stop. It's embarrassing. Okay? You're making all dudes look bad with your dumbass shit. And that's how it is with these Kingdom Hearts fans on Nintendo systems. You're making Nintendo gamers look bad with your bullshit. Stop it. Okay? It's not happening. Okay? It's not happening. Get over it. Go do something else. Go play some other shit. I don't know. There's other games out there to play, by the way. Anyway. Keeping it moving. We have one last topic left, which is unpopular opinions. Who wants to go first? Unpopular opinion. Gaming, real life, doesn't matter.
Unpopular opinion? I say moderators are usually the people that get the short end of the stick. At least as far as keeping up with certain groups.
Okay.
I'm saying this because certain moderators that for certain discords were groaning about how much of a pain they had trying to banhammer someone for doing something stupid.
Yeah, if people do something stupid, you just got to be like, look, if they do it once, it's kind of, it was an accident. If they do it multiple times, it's like, look, this is a pattern of behavior. You got to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because I know people are going to be like, that's my right to free speech. Look, let me explain how the right to free speech works. The government cannot throw you in jail for saying something unless you're like inciting people or doing a call to action or some shit. But they can't throw you in jail for doing something, for saying something. That does not mean that you can't face other consequences for saying or doing something. So if you have a job in private industry and you go and you're a white person and you go on a racist slur tirade and it's recorded, your job has the right to fire your ass and say, look, this person doesn't represent us. They can do that. You can't say, I have the right to free speech. You do. You haven't been sent to jail. But you're the person who employs you can say, we don't want this person to represent us, so we got rid of their asses. They can do that. And just like that, you can go to if you go to Twitter or Twitch or YouTube and you say some salacious shit or some shit that's patently false,
then you expect your job to be going the same way as somebody that said that there's a game system for people that want to play offline.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing, okay? Freedom of speech doesn't mean you are free of societal repercussions for saying something stupid. Like, if someone went on Twitter and said, hey, you don't need to wash your hands in order to not get sick. Just all you got to do is just do bloodletting. That'll keep you from getting sick. That's patently false. People are allowed to say this person's a fucking moron because they said some stupid shit like that. You have the right to say it, but people have the right to judge what you said. Okay? Like you can't say some patently false, stupid ass shit and say, well, I don't have to have repercussions for saying that stupid shit because I have the right to free speech. It doesn't work that way. If you say some stupid shit, people have the right to judge you for saying something stupid.
Yeah. Funny enough, that's exactly how that banhammer came down.
Okay, that's just kind of the way it is. I know some people get angry when they hear that. How could you say that? If you say some stupid shit, people have the right to judge you for it.
Yeah. Just try to do something that's stupid on Twitter. I know at least one person that finally got their justice after doing such stupid.
Anyway, that's my opinion.
It took a while.
Okay, anyone else have any unpopular opinions they want to do before we wrap things up?
What about you, Red?
Oh, I was gonna ask Kenoshi. I was gonna go last. Kenoshi, do you have an unpopular opinion?
Nah, I don't have anything.
All right, guess it's up to me. My unpopular opinion, I have two of them. The first one is not really video game centric, but I thought I'd get it off my chest. I am tired of people thinking that the world gives a shit about their gender reveals. We do not. No one cares except for you. Recently heard about some people who had an explosion and damaged people's houses and shit. No one gives a shit about your child's gender except for you and maybe your parents. The world doesn't need to know whether you're having a boy or a girl or a hermaphrodite. No one cares.
Where the heck? Why the heck? I've noticed a lot of news stories come out in the past couple of years of all these explosions because of their gender reveals.
I mean, some people in California burnt down a huge amount of acreage in a forest with a gender reveal. Don't nobody give a fuck about your kid's gender. I mean, really, these people ought to be beaten with sticks for having this shit. Oh, we're having a boy. Why can't you be like normal people and just have a card and open it up? It's a boy, it's a girl, that's it. Why do you have to have this big, expansive... This is how self-absorbed people are. They think everyone gives a shit about you. They don't. You don't matter. Okay?
Millennials are super theatrical.
No, this isn't a millennial thing. This is just humanity in general. Because there was a time... Look, humanity has always been very humanocentric. You know, there was a time where everyone thought, you know, we're so special. We're the center of the universe. Everything orbits around us. You don't fucking matter. Our planet is not in the center of the galaxy. It's not in the center of the universe. We don't fucking matter, okay? If, as a matter of fact, quantifiably speaking, if humanity disappeared off of Earth and everything that human beings ever created or invented was taken off of the planet, the natural world would actually be better off. Okay, we are a net negative to the world around us. Okay, all right, we don't matter. Okay, get that through your fucking head. Okay.
I was gonna say the only time that anybody was gonna give a f about you in a sense is if something big is gonna happen, like
your parents. Your parents care. You want to know why they care? Because typically speaking, they have a biological imperative for you to exist. Aside from that, nobody else gives a shit about you. Okay? Get it through your fucking heads. No one cares. Okay? So, which leads to my second point. It has nothing to do with gaming. It's just,
wasn't the first one nothing to do with gaming?
No, yeah, the first one had nothing to do with the game. The second one does. Second one, pretty simple. I'm just gonna say it right now. I am tired, and this is gaming. This is gaming related. I'm tired of Souls-like games. I know earlier I defended really difficult games. I am tired of people making really hard games just because. Game developers making really hard games is the equivalent of someone making the new world's hottest pepper. Why?
I was gonna say that we do not need more Battletoads.
You know, I don't need a game that's so hard that you need a fucking PhD in fingering buttons in order to play the damn game.
Or a new button position.
Okay.
For your hands.
All right, that's just asinine and stupid, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these really hard games. I'm tired of the shit. Anyway, that's it. Anyone have anything they want to add before we wrap things up? Anything? Anything anyone want to pimp out?
I think we're all good.
All right.
So, if anything, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving us your time for the BS Busters.
Yes, and I do have some things to pimp out. So I will get back on board next week with uploading videos of me doing a playthrough of Octopath Traveler. We'll get through this together. Also, we will return to the typical Wednesday, Saturday format this week. So Saturday, 7:30 p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m., BS Busters shall return for the Saturday cast. Hopefully it will be fun and people will enjoy it. We shall return the a-hole of the week. I don't know who's going to get it this week. I'm just going to let you on a little hint. EA will definitely be one of the nominees. And that's all I'm saying. With that being said,
Don't forget to rate, comment, share, subscribe. Give us questions if you can.
That's right. And hype responsibly, etc., etc. And... Well, actually, I said it. Okay.